It's a warm welcome to you viewers as we meet on this week's episode of Crime Watch, brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to inform you of our roles and operations. I'm your host, Tendeke Dandaratsi. It's good to have you along. Following an upsurge in COVID-19 cases across the country, the Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to encourage members of the public to strictly adhere to COVID-19 preventive guidelines to curb the spread of this novel virus. Moving on, the ZRP Criminal Investigations Department Homicide Harare attended a scene for further investigations where 3 armed robbers were shot dead by the complainant. The complainant narrated his ordeal.
I received an SOS call from my son, Courage. He simply said, "Daddy, Daddy." And then he cut off the phone. I drove as fast as I could. I was armed. Then the first thing I did was I shot my first shot from the garden. I saw a man wielding an AK-47 rifle. I responded by shooting him in the chest once, and he fell down. The other robbers who were inside the corridor, they ran back into the main bedroom. So I responded also by going around and shot thrice through the first window, and also shot twice through the second window. The robbers shot back 3 times. In no time, the other robber who was wielding a rifle, he emerged, and I shot at him once in the head. The other robber, a very, very huge man, he retreated into the corridor and I could not see him. And as soon as he emerged, I shot him in the head and he fell down. So there were 3 dead bodies inside the house.
The officer commanding ZRP CID homicide was also at the scene and had this to say.
As you can see, we are at Mr. Joseph Nemaisa's premises. He was attacked by 5 armed gangs. May I take this opportunity to warn those rogue elements who want to live on violent means that their days are numbered. As CID Homicide Harare, we will not watch them do these nefarious activities.
Further investigations by the police led to the arrest of the 2 suspects who had fled the scene. Police recovered a long bar shifting spanner, 5 screwdrivers, short bar spirit level, wheel spanner, pliers, AK-47 magazine loaded with 17 by 7.62 mm live rounds, 12 by 7.62 mm spent cartridges, and a Norinco pistol with a magazine of 6 rounds at the scene of crime. Investigations by the police so far have revealed that the Norinco pistol was stolen through robbery on the 5th of November 2021 at a house along Bishop Gao Avenue, Harare. Further investigations led to the recovery of a 2.2 rifle fitted with a telescope sight, a 303 rifle, an AK-47 magazine loaded with 25 live rounds, 303 rifle magazine loaded with 7 live rounds hidden in Tarirogora's room. The gang is linked to a spate of armed robbery cases in and around Harare, with one complainant identifying his stolen shoes through the suspect's pictures which trended on social media. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Republic Police applauds the public for the cooperation given in fighting robbery cases in the country. Apart from robbery cases, some people are lured into giving in their hard-earned income through pyramid schemes. The Criminal Investigations Department, Commercial Crimes Division Unit speaks on this.
CID Commercial Crimes Division has been receiving reports of fraud involving pyramid schemes. Pyramid schemes is a method which is currently being used by criminals, whereby they invite members of the public to invest with reputable companies, either that are outside Zimbabwe or in the form of what is now called crypto shares. One is promised lucrative return on investment on any amount that is invested for a given period of time. The return on investment is so attractive that one cannot deny. Upon maturity of the promised investment period, one loses the principal amount invested as well as the promised return on investment. Recently, CID Commercial Crimes received a report of a woman who was lured to invest $25,000 with a certain company and was promised a return on investment of 50% payable after 6 weeks. However, on maturity of the investment, she did not get the promised amount. Investigations into the matter are underway. We urge members of the public to be wary of such criminals, especially during this festive season.
On that note, we take a short break. Join us shortly. Welcome to the second segment of Crime Watch, and thank you for staying with us. Police in Bulawayo intercepted a haulage truck which was carrying various goods that had been smuggled into the country.
The police in Bulawayo arrested Tendai Kavu, a male adult aged 38 years, driving a South African registered vehicle from Sitma Logistics. Upon being asked to produce his documents for the goods he was carrying, he produced documents that were not tallying of what the police officers were seeing. They impounded that vehicle to Drillhall. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that their documents were fake. A ton truck was carrying groceries ranging from tin stuff, candles, mouthwashing powder, powdered milk, sweets, bath soap, and other cosmetics. As the police, we encourage members of the public to declare all their goods by the border so that they avoid being inconvenienced on the roads.
Talking of smuggling cases, police in Masvingo apprehended a smuggler and seized 79 bales of second-hand clothes. The accused, Tatenda Dene, aged 38, of house number 143, area 7, Dangabvuramtare, was apprehended following a tip-off. A 7-ton truck ferrying the bales was also seized. The accused appeared before Masvingo Magistrate Court, where he was sentenced to 20 months imprisonment. The Insurance Council of Zimbabwe recently remembered victims of road traffic accidents and their families at a belated function held at Mutare Showgrounds in Manicaland Province. The event also saw the handing over of classes 1 and 2 driver's licenses to women who have seen it fit to venture into what was previously a male-dominated domain.
The theme of today's event, it talks about the engagement of women drivers to sustainable and reduction of road traffic deaths and injuries. It is encouraging to witness such an event where women are not just empowering themselves through economic activities in the transport sector, but also taking a responsibility in the preservation of lives on our roads. Through the responsible driving, we appeal to all Zimbabweans to take part as a nation in complying with road safety rules and as well as exercise caution as they use our roads. Our government has made great strides in our roads improvement. Let us take this positive development not as a mission to overspeed. It is a relief to note that this year, Manicaland Province, often known for its fatal accidents, and normally they are actually heartbreaking because when they are announced, it is a notification of a natural disaster. So in this instance, we are happy to say Manicaland, there were no such accidents. If we play our part, rare occasions of genuine accidents will still occur. As short-term insurers, we provide motor vehicle insurance to compensate victims and other road accident victims, as well as repairing and replacing damaged property. In addition, the industry administers the public passenger liability insurance, which compensates passengers who are injured or beneficiaries of the passengers who sadly lose their lives in accidents involving public passenger vehicles like our buses. With regard to the public passenger liability insurance, out of an estimated 90,000 vehicles, that is Makombi Nema bus, we only have about 53% that are actually having insurance. Focusing on passenger liability insurance, the trend shows that vehicles involved in accidents normally declared national disasters, in which lives are lost, are part of the estimated 40% without insurance. Unfortunately, insurers do not pay claims where there is no valid insurance. Hence, all motorists and public service vehicles are encouraged to be compliant with all the statutory requirements. As a compassionate gesture, the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe has over the years assisted victims of the road accidents declared national disasters. Together with the Civil Protection Unit, we have assisted victims through payments of medical expenses and other death benefits. However, this has an effect of depleting the claims reserves for bona fide police holders.
Class 1 driver's license ya mama vakatora 2019 isusu takayoona iri opportunity yekuti tichipindawo kupa as an empowerment program kumadzimai uyezve ndakaona kuti munhukadzi akapinda kuva ndiye mutyayiri zvinoderedza matsaona mumigwagwa nekuti munhukadzi ane mwoyo wekubereka uyezve vanhukadzi vane tsitsi. Mai Mnangagwa vakaunza program iyi kwatiri. Isusu semadzimai hatisi kuirana as a business, asi tiri kuiendesa se-empowerment program.
Takarasikirwa neupenyu hwevanhu hwakawanda chaizvo kubudikidza netsaona dzakasiyana siyana. Saka ndakanzwa kusimudzirwa semunhukadzi kuti rega ndinotyayirawo bhasi ndikafambawo nedutavanhu mwoyo wangu wainzwa tsitsi kuti pamwe ndingafambawo zvakanaka ndichisesedza vanhu munzira zvakanaka. Nhasi kusvika ndaanewo class 1 driver's license.
Ndakainspire namama Mnangagwa nekutora defensive nekutora class 1. Naizvozvo ndakati regai nditori pfungwa iyi nditori chinhu ichi chakanaka, regai ndidzidze nditewo class 2 ndigonewo kuwana mikana inowanikwa nevanhurume pakuwana mabasa.
In this week's Traffic Safety segment, we speak to the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe on the increase in the number of head-on collisions as well as sideswipe accidents resulting from overtaking errors.
As road safety practitioners, we are quite disturbed by the sudden increase in road traffic collisions that are related to overtaking errors. We've noted with much concern that there are quite a number of drivers in an effort to overtake or while being overtaken who cause an accident. And most of these accidents are preventable. Preventable accidents are accidents where one or both drivers have failed to do everything reasonable they could have done to prevent it. This week we would like to talk about the art of overtaking and being overtaken. When someone is attempting to overtake or they are being overtaken, they can be involved in a head-on collision, they can be involved in a side swipe, they can also be involved in a run off the road accident. We would like to discuss some of the simple steps that one can take in order to avoid such type of accidents. When one wants to overtake, the first question is it necessary? If it is not necessary, there is no need to overtake. If the vehicles traveling in the same direction with you are moving at the same speed with you, there may be no need to overtake at all. If your answer to the question is no, then do not overtake. But if it is a yes, the next thing is stay back. Stay behind the vehicle in front of you. Some drivers decide to creep near the vehicle in front in an effort to overtake. And in that way, they will not have a clear view of the road ahead. And if the vehicle in front makes a sudden stop, they will drive right into the rear of that car. After you have kept a good and safe distance between the car in front and your car, the next thing is check traffic ahead. You need to establish whether the vehicles that are coming from the opposite direction are so close that you cannot complete the overtaking process. The good rule is make sure that if you see no movement, then that vehicle is so far away. But the moment you start seeing that it's a blue car, it's a Mercedes-Benz and all that, it means that that vehicle is getting close by. After checking the road ahead, you also need to check the road behind, because there may be other drivers who may be already attempting to overtake you. If you are quite sure that the traffic ahead is far away or there's nothing and there's nobody who is intending to overtake you, the next thing is signal right. This is very important and a way of communicating with the driver behind so that they do not overtake you simultaneously. After you are quite sure that there is no one who is attempting to overtake you and also there is no one in your blind spot, you now move to the right. And it's a dangerous lane. It is not your lane. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to accelerate so that you travel at a speed which is higher than the car that you are overtaking. But as you do that, you are going to get into the blind spot of the vehicle that you are overtaking. Some drivers may drift to the right. So it is important that if you notice that the person you are overtaking has not realized that they are being overtaken, you can tap your horn to warn the driver that I am overtaking you. When the vehicle that you're overtaking appears completely in your inside rear view mirror, it means that you are safely able to go back to your lane. So you signal left and you move to the left. When you have moved to the left, you can now cancel your signal. If your signal continues to operate, you are communicating with the driver behind that at the next turn, you are going to turn to the left. So make sure you cancel your signal. Then the last thing is resume normal speed. If you look at what we have discussed, you get a clear picture of a perfect pass. The Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe would like to appeal to all motorists to ensure that they overtake where it is legal and safe to do so. Do not cross continuous white lines or overtake where there are blind rises or where visibility is limited.
Welcome to the third and final segment of Crime Watch. ZRP Women Network held campaigns against gender-based violence during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence across the country. In Harare, Police Protection Unit held an awareness campaign in Chimoyo Camp, formerly Tomlinson Depot, where they addressed wives of police officers as well as school children. The event was attended by various stakeholders.
As we come to the end of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, we are pledging that the ZRP network will continue raising awareness against gender-based violence. Therefore, we are calling upon everyone to take part and bring violence against women to an end. I appeal to you all to listen carefully and to use the acquired knowledge wisely so that no cases of sexual and gender-based violence occur within our cases, since we are custodians of the law.
Mirishonga tinaiona setsaona inoitika kunani nani, hazvinei kuti iwe uri mupurisa kadzi kana kuti uri mudzimai wemupurisa, kauya kuzodzidzisana nemi kuti isu vemusasa tiripo pakubatsirana nemi pachena. Tinooffer yatinoti counseling services.
Ndinoda kutenda zvikuru nedzidziso yatawana pazuva ranhasi, yekuti kunyangwe mukati medzimba tikava nemhirishonga tinoziva kokuenda kokunoripota.
Similar campaigns were also held in Bulawayo.
We have taken this day to join hands together with our crime-consulted community and the Limited Zimbabwe Women, so that we team up together and discourage the commission of crime, and at the same time also participating with our female officers as they fight against gender-based violence during the 60 days of activism against gender-based violence. We hope that the people from Bulawayo will take heed and take precautionary measures to safeguard themselves against gender-based violence, especially during the festive season.
We are campaigning for 16 days of activism, which runs from the 25th of November to the 10th of December every year. We are actually encouraging the public to come and report whatever case is, and be free with the police. We are actually promoting the initiatives that the police are bringing forward, which is the Crime Consultative Committee, the Back Force, the Polycon, all the initiatives.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police does not condone any cruelty against women and girls. Just recently, 3 people were arrested after they raped a Kadoma woman and got away with some valuables.
The 3 accused persons were arrested for robbery and rape, which they committed in Ifo Flats on the 12th of September 2021. The accused persons proceeded to the complainant's house, where upon arrival, they broke the door, forced entry into the bedroom where the complainant was asleep. During the course of the break-in, they gang raped the complainant. They then ransacked her house, stealing clothes, kitchen utensils, a solar panel, 150 watts, and an inverter. The accused persons have since been taken to court, where they appeared before Provincial Magistrate, who remanded them in custody. I would like to take this opportunity to thank members of the public for supplying information which led to the arrest of these accused persons.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, here are some of the people on the police wanted list. Chikoti Langu of house number 20, Douglas Road, Grange, Harare, is being sought by Southampton Police in Harare in connection with a case of rape. Southampton Police is also looking for Stephen Mugore of house number 76, Mslanga Road, Mbare, Harare, for theft of trust property. Lastly, ZRP Glenora is looking for Clive Maso, age 21, of house number 10035, Glenview 7, Harare, for a case of rape. Anyone with information that may help in the location of these people can contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. Visit our website www.zrp.gov.zw. Email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Alternatively, you can link with us on our Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe or like us on our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. Be reminded that all Crime Watch episodes are accessible on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. We have come to the end of this week's episode. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Tendekai Dandarasi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.